Hello, Wes Lee here, and it's good to be back with you here on the Mesonet Weather Report. We experienced some of the coldest weather this past week that we've had in quite a while. Single digits and low teens were felt in much of the state on Wednesday morning. This marked at least 3 days of winter weather at most sites where the temperatures were consecutively below freezing. Only McCurtain County fared better, where it took the cold front an extra day to arrive. However, as cold as it was towards the end of January, the month came in averaging very warm. Here you can see the average air temperature for most of the state was 2 to 5 degrees above normal. Breaking it down by day, we see that the first 3 weeks of the month were very warm, with some sites as much as 30 degrees above normal. It was only the last few days of the month where temperatures dropped below the long-term average for the month. By the weekend, we are expecting temperatures to return to the warmer than normal position and maybe stay there for a while. This forecast map for next week shows shades of red over most of the state, which would indicate the probability of warm conditions are likely. Now here's Gary with more of an outlook for February.
Thanks, Wes, and good morning, everyone. Well, we're finally finished with January and on to February, so let's take a look back, see what January brought us, and then take a little preview for next month. Well, the drought monitor, we had more improvements across eastern Oklahoma. That's where, again, the bulk of the rain fell, whether it was freezing rain, sleet, or even snow. East central down into southeast Oklahoma continued to be the area of focus. The rest of the state, we still have that moderate to extreme to severe to even exceptional drought on the drought monitor scale. So we definitely need more rainfall, but especially across western Oklahoma. The rainfall totals for February, well, we did see some pretty decent rainfall again across far east central and southeast Oklahoma, a little bit less as you go towards the west, of course, and then out in the panhandle, you're down less than a quarter inch in some places. So again, much more needed across western Oklahoma. When we look at the deficits for January, not quite so bad when you look out west because, again, January is our driest month of the year. So even though you have very little rainfall, that's not too far off from normal, but still we need above normal rainfall to get rid of those drought conditions. Okay, let's move on to February. We see from the Climate Prediction Center the outlook for precipitation, increased odds of above normal precipitation across basically the eastern 3/4 or 4/5 of the state, but especially across the eastern 1/3. So that would be good news if that came to fruition, but we definitely need that to move farther west, of course. So with that precipitation outlook in mind, the February drought outlook from the Climate Prediction Center shows drought improvement across basically the eastern third of the state. Unfortunately, across the western 2/3, that drought is expected to persist. Okay, so we're getting lots of good precipitation across eastern Oklahoma. We just need it to move towards the west. Hopefully we can start to see that come out in February, and then as we get into spring, even more rainfall across those western parts of the state. That's it for this time. We'll see you next time on the Mesonet Weather Report.